Hey everyone, Daniel Whitlow here, welcome back. Today we got this rear end up on blocks. Hopefully we'll start getting the axles and final drives and all that back on. So got this good and stable. We'll see what happens when we start to get one side on. It's a lot of weight with these high crops. We'll get it supported. And hopefully this thing will start looking like a rear end to a tractor again. Alright, so I got this beast back together. Like I said, I had some help getting that shaft in. And then what the manual says to do, and my dial indicator just doesn't have a good setup for this, but once you get the shaft in, you get that snap ring on inside there. That's a joy. Got that. And then you're supposed to, you put your cone on. Sorry for all my videos, I screw up the terminology, out of race, in a race, cone and roller. So, sorry, you get your rollers in here, get that on, and then you tighten this nut. And you're supposed to tighten it until there's like a couple thousandths deflection in this whole housing. Well, like I said, my dial indicator setup just wasn't working well for that, but I think I got it tight. And then from there you put on your kind of locking tab and your other nut and lock that down. And I just gotta get a gasket made for this. And I have the John Deere gasket there for that. So this is essentially ready to go. Other than those two covers, ready to mate up back with technically this piece over here. Oh, sorry, that lighting is absolutely terrible. Well, let's look at this one instead. So that one's all back together. This one, I got apart today. Got a mess going on here, but honestly, things are cleaning up because more and more parts are going inside there, which means less on the floor, and I just got to clean up tools. Anyway, so that drive gear there actually came up from the bottom. And then it sticks up through here. And this is the seal that I just took out and then I replaced, put a new one in. So all this work is to replace that seal there. And then once that shaft is back up through, I don't know if you can see, you got your rollers. I'll just show you here. So like the rollers go in there, and this gear goes on there. And then this nut on that threaded shaft there is supposed to get tightened down until you have 4/1000ths end play. So anytime, my experience is anytime you're doing a threaded castle nut like this and you need that small of end play, I tighten it till it's tight. You get a little resistance rolling it. Then I always back off one flat, basically. So yeah, we got new seal in there and put this shaft in. So now I just got to take that one apart, which unless I find something, I won't show that. That'll just be the same. And then mating these back together is going to be interesting. I think I have a plan for that. I actually think I'm going to leave this supported like this. Then I think I'm going to take the skid loader and support it with the forks on each side so it's flopped up, the axle's sticking up in the air. And then I can hopefully lower it down, get it close and mate it, and then screw it together. It's all a good plan except what I just said. This has to be upside down because that end mates there. So everything I just said, other way on this piece though. That's a plan. We'll see if it works out that way. I guess I should mention, in case anyone is trying to diagnose on their tractor, and I think I realize now this is only specific to the high crop, so I doubt anyone's coming to this video for that, but on the outer side here you've got another set of rollers this spins in this. They call this an adapter here. And yeah, anyway, all right, back together. of course, I had this all back together, both of these, and I realized I had another set of seals in my parts bin, and lo and behold, there was a seal inside this adapter here that I forgot about, because I had ordered all my parts. I'd ordered all my parts after looking at the parts diagram before I even had some of this apart. So yeah, anyway, I had the seals back apart, now back together. So here's how I got these two pieces back together. I had that bottom supported on blocks because the gear and the nut stick out just a little bit beyond that base, so I didn't want to sit on that. And then I used the pallet forks to the skid loader to kind of straddle in between here. And then we got that close. Got it. It seemed like it was good, but you know, this is such a tight fit that I ended up, so this was one bolt. I ran a small long bolt through there because it got tight before any of the threads came through, or even really, they were barely engaging with the holes. The dowel pins weren't even starting. So I got it close, and then I used a bolt here to start working it. I'd put some tension on it, hammer it up above, put some more tension on it, hammer it, and it just kept working its way down. Finally, when I got within probably, I guess when these threads started to stick out, it started to go pretty easy. And eventually, once I had enough thread out, I used these threads, the big nuts, and I just kind of worked it one side to the other, got it all locked in. Of course, when you land it, you got to make sure you get your teeth lined up, and you'll feel it land on that tooth before anything else hits or lines up. So rotate the axle, get it lined up, and then keep it going and seated. But again, I know this is all unique to high crop stuff, so not too applicable to everyone else. All right, guys, so here's how we got this one on. See, it's hanging there from the skid loader fork. It was nice to have this come along, then I could adjust the levelness. A little wonky, so you got to be careful, and bolted right up. I think the second one hopefully will go quicker. Not sure I'm going to get it done today, though. One more thing. Makes me, I guess, feel like a small guy. These bolts here, the nuts, torqued to 275 foot-pounds. Well, with my standard torque wrench, it only goes to 250, and even then I'm literally hanging my weight on the end of it. I can actually pull up better. And then these are 150 foot-pounds. So yeah, these pretty tight on those suckers. And I just remembered, before I got the other side on, I wanted to put the load control shaft in because, again, another high crop problem. You're not getting this load shaft out without taking the axle housing off. So before we get the other one on, we got to push this in. We'll get it from the other side. And of course, be careful. I talked about it in my other video. I'll put a link here in the top right. Changing out the load control shafts and the seals and things. Oh, I had that all apart, but for here, just gonna drive the shaft in and put the caps on the ends. All right, and there she is, all together. Sorry the lighting isn't great. It turned very cold out since that last clip. It was days since I took that last clip because I wanted to put this side on, and you know, there's the two alignment pins or dowel pins for this to go on. I had the gasket on. Everything looked fine. Well, it turned out I had it 180, and when I had it on, started to get it bolted and everything, but you could see the gasket kind of sticking out where it wasn't. So I went to take it apart, and of course the gasket just ripped to smithereens. So I had to order a new gasket, and anyway, got cold, and hence we're in the shop now. And yeah, but this is all back together, and there's the planetary. That'll be an upcoming video. I was starting to put that together and just ran into an issue. So with that, we'll end this here. Again, I know this video was very unique to the high crop, so probably won't get too much traction. amongst viewers and such. But give me a thumbs up if you learned something new, liked it. Certainly subscribe if you aren't part of the channel. Hopefully get some more videos coming in here in the next few weeks with the planetary and everything else. And yeah, you all have a good day, and email me at danielfarmchannel@gmail.com if you have any questions. And if I don't have a video, or you don't watch anything else until then, you all have a happy holidays.